Hey guys, Wyatt Claypool here. I've been pretty clear that I don't see the current rise in the polls for the Liberal Party as being something they're going to be able to hold on to in the long run. The news cycle just doesn't really support it. There's nothing really going on in society that would suggest that people are going to rush back to voting for the Liberals. But the one thing that's really funny about the current increase in the Liberals polling is how much it's demonstrating the weakness of the NDP under Jagmeet Singh. This is the last poll that just came out from Palace. And again, I don't actually think the Liberal Party can hold up at a 34%. This poll, when you actually looked at the regionals, was pretty wonky, with some regions looking pretty accurate to what they had been previously showing in other polls, but then like BC voting very like liberal or Manitoba voting very liberal. That's where I'm not quite sure that this is going to really hold up or if it's quite accurate right now. Even then, the Conservatives are still above 40. But, anyways, the NDP here are at 12. And I've seen Main Street polls, again, not sure about the accuracy, but I think that the general direction is correct. That in Ontario federal polls, the NDP is polling at 9%. That's scary considering the NDP in many places like Metro Toronto, the like the GTA in Northern Ontario ridings and Southern Ontario ridings, they have a lot of bright spots. Hamilton, they're able to win seats, but like based on some of the recent polling, they might be trying to hold on to maybe 10 of their current federal seats. Some people's polling models, in fact, are showing the NDP with 0 seats. Sharia Teeth's new model, based on the Palace poll, with 12% puts them at 0. Again, that's where I do doubt the accuracy of Palace a little bit because I don't think that you're going to be able to push the NDP below 15% in this new election cycle. But the thing is, we've seen this in previous polling. The NDP's own base, people who are saying that in 2025 they are certain to vote NDP, half of the people who are still voting NDP think Jagmeet is the wrong leader. But the only person who seems to not know this is Jagmeet Singh himself. So I'm going to take you through some of the recent content that Jagmeet Singh is putting out on social media because it demonstrates why nobody likes him, even in his own party. It demonstrates why nobody takes them seriously and their polling is mediocre at best. But before I get into it, guys, look at this sign. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, do all that great stuff. Leave a comment. I'm trying to get to 100,000 subscribers by mid-December. So by sharing this video, by subscribing if you're not yet a subscriber, you really help me out. And you avoid me having to buy all my friends dinner in mid-December if I'm only at 95,000. I actually only get dinner bought for me as my reward, not even proportionately. Basically, I get like $70 if I win, and they get like $600 if I lose. It's mostly just to scare myself into trying to pick up the pace. Anyways, but here is Jagmeet Singh's most recent post, and he, for some reason, thinks that he is the tough guy who's going to stand up to Donald Trump. Jagmeet here says, "This isn't about the border for Donald Trump. It's about our water and the critical minerals that Elon Musk needs." Okay, well, this is such a weird thing. Is he acting like Elon Musk is like not supposed to have these critical minerals? Not that we should like give him sovereignty, but we should probably trade some minerals to, into the US so Tesla can make cars that would make us money. But I digress. Jagmeet Singh finishes up here saying Donald Trump has threatened to use economic force to make us the 51st state. Canadians will never let that happen. No chance in hell. And this supports my ongoing theory, not really a theory, I think it's just true, that the left in Canada is easily the bigger repository of conspiracy theories. There are so many people who I know who are moderate center leftists or they're center right who are just like can't get over the fact that Jagmeet Singh has convinced himself that Trump truly just wants to make Canada the 51st state. By the way, he doesn't. Do you think he really wants, and Canada would probably end up being multiple states. Do you think he wants a bunch of Democratic senators added to the Senate right now? No. Do you think he has the political bandwidth to do this? No. And by the way, what was it that Trudeau agreed to that basically postponed the trade war for 30 days? And it's probably not even going to happen now. They just want us in the next 30 days to put some more security on the border. It was border security. It was national defense spending. It had nothing to do with critical minerals. Trump mentioned critical minerals one time, and somehow Jagmeet has turned this into like a spy movie plot that Trump is going to try and undermine our government, then send in the military to take us over, and only he can board the train in time to, like, set us up the bomb, blow up whatever, like, secret device Trump's going to use to bring down our networks, and he can save the day. But here's Jagmeet talking.
What Trump, though, is really about, and it is very clear, he is about making Canada the 51st state. That is what he is about. He has made that very clear. We don't need to guess about what his intentions are. He has repeated it. He wants to use economic pressure on Canada to put us in a weak position. He has been very clear. That is what he wants to do. So we need to fight back.
He couldn't keep saying, he's very clear. He is very clear. And then he keeps repeating something that, like, Trump vaguely alluded to one time in, like, a Truth Social post. I don't think Elon Musk and Donald Trump are trying to take over the country so they can get some rare earth minerals. And by the way, why is it that we don't actually open up more mines? Why is it that we don't protect our own sovereignty by being as big as we can? Is Jagmeet Singh out there advocating that we actually fund the military? No. In fact, the NDP has a socialist caucus made up of about 4 to 6 of their NDP MPs, which advocates for defunding the military. Yes, Jagmeet Singh, with literal, like, Benedict Arnolds in his caucus, are going to be the ones protecting us from the Americans by having people who actually just want to, like, defund our only way of protecting ourselves. But here is now Jagmeet Singh talking about Elon Musk, a man who has very little to do with Canadian politics.
Elon Musk is at it again. He's been sending hundreds of millions of dollars to right-wing conservative candidates across the world. He's also been accused of manipulating the algorithm on X to favor right-wing conservative candidates.
He's been accused of this, or it's been proven. Because back when Jack Dorsey was the head of Twitter, they could actually prove it by basically showing similar accounts, or one account like plunging down to the floor in terms of its reach and engagement. I don't notice that really on X. I actually notice tons of very popular left-wing accounts. They're oftentimes being clowned on because they're ridiculous. But I've not noticed like a lack of left-wing accounts and a lack of reach. This isn't like being shadow banned in 2020 where you post something and literally nobody sees it. But he's just having to spread anti-Musk, anti-Trump conspiracies in order to justify why you should vote for him, because he's going to do something. Is he going to make life more affordable? Is he going to fund the police better in the military? Is he going to secure the border, crack down on crime, do anything? Nah. No, but he's going to be really mad at Elon Musk on Twitter. So that's why you should make this man prime minister.
He's recently endorsed Pierre Poilievre, who's accepted that endorsement. So we're worried about the real threat of election interference in our country.
Can't believe it.
Sign our petition to push for an investigation of Elon Musk, X, and interference in our democracy.
Don't worry, Jagmeet. I'm going to give you my data. I'm going to give you my personal data so you can whine and cry at me through your emails. I also get NDP emails. I signed up for their email list. Everything, they're just bad. I don't even know how to say it other than they just suck at sending emails. They don't. Here's another thing. The conservatives are going to cut stuff. Every video is less substantial than the last. Jagmeet Singh is just a fake tough guy, a fake political tough guy. Every time, everything is striking a pose with him with no substance behind it. This is actually the big strength that Pierre Poilievre has. Pierre Poilievre is great long form. Sit him down for a 2-hour podcast, he performs great. Jagmeet can't go through 30 seconds without repeating himself. It's pathetic.
Right now in this city, in Montreal, there are already workers who have lost their jobs because of the threat of Donald Trump's tariffs. We have to put in place better protect.
I'm sorry, but which ones? Are you talking about businesses moving to the US because they have lower taxes? That's not because of threats. Nobody was shutting down in like a 2-month period of time, shutting down businesses to then go to the US, unless they were already planning on doing it anyways. But again, another conspiracy that a bunch of people have been basically threatened by Trump into moving their businesses. No, the economy that you are a part of and that you have contributed to sucks.
For these workers. These workers should not be left on their own. They should know that there's a government there for them. At a time when people are worried about job losses, people are losing their jobs, I'm surprised that Mark Carney has also added his voice to cutting jobs. I'm not surprised that Pierre Poilievre and the Conservatives want to cut jobs. That's what they do. At this difficult time, we need policies that protect workers, not CEOs, not billionaires, not big corporations, but we need clear plans and clear strategies and policies that put workers first. And with New Democrats, that is what we will always do.
And again, his grasp on economics is so bad. Sorry, what are the workers going to be working for without capital, without people paying for those jobs to exist, without paying for the raw materials to make products or the stuff they need for services? What are we going to do? But I'd like Jagmeet to condemn the QP because, or not the public employees, but like PSAC or whatever, the private sector union, who again, they don't represent their members because so many of these private sector unions have been taken over from a top level of just left-wing progressive activists who have never picked up a hammer, they've never done a hard job in their lives, or if they did, they benefited greatly from the seniority system that you've been sitting around here filling the room with farts for 12 years. So I guess you're better than the guy who's only been here for 8 years, but is like 4 times as productive. That's what happens with private sector unions. And that's why they put out memorandums like the just did. I don't have to bring it up on screen. I read it this morning, though. They brought up that they proposed to stop more businesses from going down to the United States because the United States doesn't kick their business owners in the face, which also means they don't end up kicking their own workers in the face by proxy of shutting down businesses and depriving them of a job. By the way, an aside here, there's no such thing as a minimum wage. The minimum wage is always $0. Every time they keep trying to increase benefits and wages for workers, what they really do is they say every 10th employee can now go without a job and without pay. But anyways, I digress. But this public sector union coalition came out and said that we should start nationalizing businesses that want to move to the US. Communism. You want communism. Or I guess it would be technically also trade unionism, which is what they tried in Italy in the 1920s and 30s, where unions and the government would just take over and operate any business that the owner basically wouldn't follow orders from. So basically, the government owns every business because if you stop doing exactly what the business wants, well, some union black shirt is going to end up taking over the business and running it probably less well than you did to prevent you from doing a sensible thing with your capital that you put forward, that you generated, that you took the risk on, all that stuff. Annoying. Anyways, is there anything else that Jagmeet Singh has done? We can keep kind of going. Oh my goodness, he's doing all the buy Canadian, don't buy American type stuff, and I just find it very. He's doing his pledge petition still. It's so tiring.
Friends, if you are worried and you are saying, what can I do to fight back against Trump's tariffs? You're worried about it, you're fed up about it. Here's what you can do. I'm here with Craig Sauvé. We're in Montreal.
Oh yeah, the guy who literally puts the Palestinian flag on all of his literature instead of the Canadian flag. Not even the Quebec flag, which I would get. No. Yeah, if guys to punch back against Trump, to fight back, elect somebody who cares more about Hamas than Canadians.
You can buy Canadian and boycott American. Come with me. Let me show you how you do that.
Yeah, you go to a very small grocer who probably has very high prices, but Jagmeet doesn't care about that. He just cares about hating Loblaws, but not Metro, because his brother's a lobbyist for Metro. You see, profit margins are only bad if you're a big business. If you're a small business who's selling a tomato for like twice the price that Loblaws is, that's okay. And by the way, I don't care what they sell it for, but Jagmeet does. but he's a complete hypocrite when it comes to what he actually cares about and what he doesn't care about.
So you pick up a product right here. Boom. Let's pick up this chocolate. Chocolate Boreal. Boy, I dropped another one. I have to buy that too. Chocolate Boreal, made in Canada, made in Quebec. That's good. Buy that. What else we got here? We got maple syrup, made in Canada. Got the Canadian flag. Check the label. Buy that.
Who's even selling Vermont-based maple syrup into Canada anyways? Like, Canada has such a big maple syrup industry. I don't think you'd ever end up buying any from the US anyways. Like, I guess they make a little bit in Montana, but it's pretty sparse.
Buy Canadian, boycott American, and you can also sign the pledge that you are committing to do that. You're committing to support Canadian, you're committing to boycott American. That's how you fight back. Let's show Trump that he messed with the wrong country.
The guy behind him should have just started screaming about boycotting Israel too, because he's a BDS candidate. Who could guess why Jagmeet's not doing very well? Everything about him is just so sanctimonious and like belabored and sluggish. The guy doesn't, you know what? I'm going to say it. I'm going to say a very Zoomerish thing. The man has no swag. The man has no riz. The man is boring. He's been saying the same thing since he became leader in 2019, or actually 2018 or whatever. Imagine having such low self-esteem as the NDP that you're letting this guy take a third kick at the can when they kicked out Thomas Mulcair after failing once. Thomas Mulcair doesn't even fail. He just doesn't live up to what Jack Layton was. Still wins like 45 seats. But no. Give that over to Jagmeet and let him kill the party in 3 elections. Just let him do it. I'm fine with it. I don't want the NDP to exist, but whatever. But like, I'm still wondering how this serves the membership of the NDP to have this guy just staring into his phone, uploading videos to TikTok, dancing about how he doesn't like Donald Trump, and that, you know, because he's getting real jiggy with it and saying to buy Canadian, you're going to make him the prime minister. You could make any student activist a prime minister at that point. But anyways, that's it for me today, guys. Remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and I will see you guys next time.